Welcome back to RuskiWeldFab. Welcome back to the channel where we make things out of carbon fiber or Kevlar that are not really need to be done out of carbon Kevlar or carbon.
That's a good one!
Anyways, last round of time attack, I've been suffering a little bit of a cooling issue. Basically, the coolant was going a little bit too hot for my liking, above 100. So we've drilled some holes in a bumper, as you can probably see, as a sort of a little band-aid, and it definitely worked. But I know that you need to direct air. Air is lazy, guys. Remember this, air is lazy. You need to direct it. If you have way too many holes, if you have openings everywhere, it will just go absolutely everywhere, bypassing the important thing that you actually need it to go into, which is the radiator. As you can see, I have my main radiator, I have a big intercooler, and I have my oil cooler. Oil I don't have a problem with, so we're just gonna leave it as it is for now. Intercooler, absolutely spot on. Intake temperatures are really steady and it's perfect, so we are all good on that front. The coolant, the normal coolant cooler, we need to direct the air. So as you've seen right now from this little cardboard papier-mâché DIY crafts and arts thingy. So this is one way of doing your mold. So if the part is really complex, I mean, how else are you gonna accomplish it? So you make it out of cardboard because obviously it's cheap, it's free, it's easily to be cut with a knife and did it safe. So this shape is basically what I will need. So the next step is we take aluminium foil tape. I mean, obviously I'll reinforce it a little bit more so it's not flimsy just on each side. Then we take aluminium tape. I've used this before, it's brilliant material. It's basically foil, self-adhesive, and we're gonna line the whole thing with this material, and that's it. That's your mold done. You don't need to do anything. I mean, resin doesn't then actually stick to this stuff. I'll probably still apply a bit of a release agent just to make it easier, but there is no need. And then, yeah, 2-3 layers of dial-in or carbon or Kevlar, whatever I have leftover cut-offs, because obviously nobody's going to see it. It's not a cosmetic part. It just needs to be light, it needs to be strong, and it needs to be functional. So let's take this off. Let's apply some foil onto it. And let's make some carbon!
1 hour later.
Well, hello. Just when you think that you're the top dog, you know how to make things, you share it with people and they tell you, nah, it's all shit, do it like this. You know who you are, guys, thank you. I took it on board. The reason why I wanted to do it the first sort of batch is because of this, because it's so much closer. This becomes really thin, plus the pipes, and also I never had a problem with oil cooling. But I do agree, it's a good idea to make it all together. So let's turn this into carbon. Well, as you've probably seen, I mean, yeah, it's reinforced, it's ready. What I've done here is proper papier-mâché or whatever arts and crafts. You see all those ribs? That basically made it super strong. I mean, come on, look, it's cardboard and it's almost ready to be fitted as is. Anyways, now the laborious step of applying aluminium tape. The thing is, because the layer that you're gonna see is going to be on the top. We are not really concerned about the surface at the bottom, as long as it doesn't stick, but it does not have to be absolutely straight, because obviously once you take it off, this stuff will be on the inside and nobody will ever see it. Yeah, tape, little blade, 3 hours of my time. Alright, so this thing is finally all taped up. Every single corner I've used whatever wax, I can't remember the name of it. So it's nice, sort of slightly radius edge. Before I can actually apply carbon and everything. I've learned my lesson, guys. I've learned my lesson, and I do listen. I need to flange this. Some of you probably gonna ask, oh, why didn't you flange it straight away? Because I need the shape, so I know that this is basically exactly the shape that I need. This is how I made the mock-up. So now it's easier to just apply the flange everywhere, sort of underneath. So whenever the carbon is laid, not only I'll have a trim line, very important, trim line, but also it's just a lot easier to do it now, literally just on the outside in places that I needed to. And yeah, effectively this is all ready. Once this is done, once the first layer is applied and dried, I will be putting this thing in the middle like that. And again, not only this will serve as a support, basically like a rib in the center, this will be a part that kind of steals extra flow from the oil cooler, because I'm not suffering from oil cooler. As you can see, this sort of slight little winglet basically will direct more flow towards the radiator, well, in theory anyways. Yeah, can't wait to see this thing. I think it will work and definitely will look pretty cool on the car, and should be really light. So yeah, let's flange it and let's do your favorite, the carbon. complete. I've done 3 layers all the way around. First I thought I was gonna use some carbon, dialing, whatever, but I had so many offcuts of Kevlar. So I decided literally the whole thing is 3 layers of carbon Kevlar all the way around. I tried to make it as neat as possible. The visible parts like this one, that's basically one piece, so it's visually pleasing. Yeah, I think this is the first stage. It needs to set. I've only used slow hardener with epoxy, slow part of the EL2 by Easy Composites, meaning that this will be dry in about 18 hours. But that's not a problem because I'm actually working tomorrow. Yes, guys, I actually do have a day job. So I'm not going to be able to attend to it in the morning anyways, or be tempted. So we'll leave that for the whole day, and then like I said, there will be a stage 2, meaning that we are putting this thing in the middle somehow like this and reinforcing it a bit further with a few layers, just so it's like a separator, sort of barricade, whatever thing. Anyways, for you it's going to be a click, for me it's going to be 24 hours. Alright, so this has been just under 24 hours. It looks like it's all set, it's all nice. The excess resin kind of seeped out. I'm gonna change my plan a little bit. Originally I thought I will put the reinforcing in the center, but I'm just worried that what if this thing is distorted, it's not gonna fit in there, and then I put the reinforcement, then it will be reinforced much harder to sort of slot in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna demold it, take it out of this thing. I can't wait to see how it actually looks. And most likely I'm gonna trim it and try and fit it onto the grill in there as is. And then if it needs any adjustment, at least it'll be more flexible and I'll be able to do it properly. So let's take it. I'm freaking chuffed to bits. I mean, look at that. Obviously it needs a trim, but not bad for a little cardboard sort of mock-up, and it's solid. In all honesty, it doesn't actually need any reinforcement. Well, it does, but it's very, very good. I think we need to trim this, but like I said, I can see my trim lines where the resin goes, so I can trim it. getting a little bit impatient. I trimmed it, it fits perfect, but I didn't want to film it, didn't want to show you sort of the middle part. You're kind of seeing the middle part anyways. So this is the separator, so I decided not to use cardboard because it's a simple shape. Debond, cut to shape, bent ever so slightly. I know the perfect position. A little bit of wax on each corner just to sort of create this little radius, and then we just apply one coat of PVA. 15 minutes, we have to wait until it's dry, and then literally 2 coats of cuts of Kevlar with a bit of an overlap to go onto the original part, so we'll stick maybe about an inch like that, so it's nice and neat. That way the separator is going to be there and it's going to be chemically bonded to the original Kevlar thing. I sanded a little bit the edge just to create this sort of nice key. So yeah, let's wait for 15 minutes, apply some layers, and this thing is going to be pretty much done, just ready for final trim and sand.
Eventually.
And just like that, it is done. Yeah, I was being lazy. I didn't obviously film how I reinforced it in the center, but you get the idea. It's just a little bit more carbon work that you've missed, but I hope you didn't miss. This thing is a marvel of... I just love it. I think it worked out absolutely brilliant. If you think that literally from just some cardboard template that I stuck on the car and some tape and whatever, you can produce Kevlar part as rigid as this, as functional as this. I mean, there's a bit of flex here, obviously, because it's just a thin, but overall it's absolutely perfect. So now what I have to do is I need to mount it. So let me show you how it looks on the car. Look, one-handed. How is that for a fit up? So here you are. This is how it's gonna be on the car. So what I've done here is the main opening is for the main radiator. This bottom part is taking air from the strategically cut holes at Brands Hatch. I'll enlarge them and put a little bit of foam. This side, before, it was obviously too open and all the air would just go past the radiator into the engine bay. We don't want that. And like I said, I'm stealing a little bit of flow from the oil radiator. Not much, it's still open, but it's angled to give me maximum performance from the radiator. Also the top is blocked, so the air cannot go up. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Also another little sort of feature here right at the top, it's kind of radiused a bit, so it will sort of aid sort of extra flow into the main radiator. Absolutely chuffed with this. Chuffed, stoked, I don't know. I said stoked in one of the WhatsApp groups, and some of the guys said, "Oh, you know Australian," or whatever. I don't know. You may be asking me, how is it going to be fixed in place? Well, in all fairness, it doesn't really need to be sort of. It's not going anywhere because obviously the bumper. But I am going to fix it in place. So the idea was the bottom beam that I have, kind of like a flange here. So I'll thread a couple of M6 or maybe M4, something light. So 2 bolts will go in here just to secure it in there, and then at the top I will need 3 fixing points, and the idea is, let's take this off, let's take the bit of aluminium that I have lost, and at the top I will weld 2 or 3 tabs like that. Again, maybe put a riv nut or something like that, so you have attachment at the top straight to radiator. 2 on here, and I might put 1 in here because that corner, as you can see, it actually sits pretty much on top, so I might be able actually to put a nut and bolt on there as well. So this should secure it in place. It's never going to move anywhere and it will be quickly removable. Yeah, guys, if you don't get inspiration from this, I don't know what else I need to do for you. I mean, I have so many people literally messaging me or saying, oh, thank you, we watched your videos and you made it look so easy, so we attempted and got great results. Just try it. Composite materials. Go to Easy Composites, get your starter kit, you know, find some other place for your supplies and just do it. I mean, look at this. From all metal, well, fiberglass. In about a year, it turned into pretty much all Kevlar. So, yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you liked this video. I hope you found it a little bit informative and inspirational of sorts. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.